So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Maharashtra Hub meeting for the month of July. This is the fifth meeting in a series of the monthly Hub meetings, and the third with the Streets for People challenge winners that we are doing. In the previous two sessions, we had the winning entries from Nagpur and Nashik present their entries, and today we have with us Shunya Studio presenting the winning entry for the Pimpri Chinchwad Municipal Corporation area. So Shunya Studio was founded by architect Abhijit Pondalkar, an architect and urban designer who has worked on projects like preparation of city development plans and master plans, public space design and street design, as well as multimodal integration plans for the metro. The studio is a collaborative practice based on research, self-initiated projects, and experimentation. So we have with us today Abhijit, who will, along with his colleagues from the studio, Harshavardhan Kotwal and Suraj Urne, to present their winning entry, Neighborhood of Proximities and Linear Parks. So we'll be revisiting the area that where the placemaking actually was initiated in December 2019. So I hope we can all, uh, relate to the time that we spent there, the founding members of the network that were present. So now I hand over to Abhijit and his team, and they can start with the presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So first of all, thank you, Placemaking India, for giving us this opportunity to present our proposal. Yeah, I'll just share it. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just like to say if anyone has any questions, please feel free to type it out in the chat so we can take it at the end of the presentation.
Yeah. So my screen is visible to all?
Yeah, yes, we can see it.
Sure. So thank you, Placemaking, for giving us this opportunity to present our proposal. So okay, so there were three sites that were given. The site A, which was a mandatory site, which is Lokmanya Tilak Road. So this is a site in PCMC in sector 24 and 27. And there was another site, B1, which was a kind of a neighborhood road that is called as Savaka Road. And there was third site, which was a Pradhikaran Road, which you see this as a curve. That was given. We chose the site A and site B for the demonstration purpose. Both the sites, site A is 1.44 kilometer long and site B, B1 is 0.8 kilometer long. Both the streets are 24 meter wide road, and this was the approximate boundary of the neighborhood that was given, in which these two streets are there. So before initiating any proposal or anything, what we first did is to mark the circles of 5-minute walk and a 15-minute walk, because if you are talking about pedestrianization, cycle friendly neighborhood, I think the first we need to understand is what are the boundaries of the neighborhood. So the inner green circle, what you see is a 5-minute walking circle, and the red one outer you see is a 15-minute walking circle. So our neighborhood was a little bit smaller in the size, and it was the wider was the circle of the 15-minute walk. So what we first did is to map the entire neighborhood and readjust its boundaries. So in this outer circle, which is a 15-minute walk circle, what we did is to to expand the boundaries of the neighborhood. These are the two roads over here you can see, and then on the southern side, if you see, this is the railway line. So this became the edge of the neighborhood, which is at the 15-minute walk. So this formed the edge, one edge. The old Pune Bombay highway formed another edge for the neighborhood, and then there is a Nigri road, which is 60-meter wide road. So these three became, and there is another smaller road over here. These became our boundary for the neighborhood. And then second thing what we did is obviously to to map all the gardens in the neighborhood and the schools, because we first thought of making the entire neighborhood friendly for the children. So these were the parks that were first marked, and these schools what you see have been marked. Then the third most important thing was to mark the public buildings. So these are the triangular you see are the public building. These public buildings are owned by PCMC. This is a Pradhikaran office. There is another Pradhikaran office over here. Why so? Because public buildings are easy to engage with, and we can connect the domain, the private domain of the public buildings with the public domain inside. So it becomes fully public. So after that, the interesting part was to connect this and to look at the what the city mobility plan of PCMC is saying about this art, because just by giving a proposal which is not in connection with any mobility plan wasn't a good solution. So the city mobility, we refer to the city mobility plan as per CMP. On old Pune Bombay there is a proposed BRT, and there is another BRT that is proposed on the Lokmanya Tilak Road that goes further down towards the Ganganagar side, and on the eastern side it connects the industrial area. So through our side, that is through Lokmanya Tilak Nagar, a BRT corridor is proposed. And the CMP has also proposed a cycle route on the Nigdi Chikhli road, which is a 45-meter wide. It's a kind of a central spine for the entire neighborhood. So along it, it's a very wide road, 45-meter. Along it, a cycle track is proposed, and there is another cycle track at the edge of the neighborhood that is being proposed by the city mobility plan. And so these were the networks that were being proposed by the CMP. Another, and the CMP also proposes a upgradation of the Bhakti Shakti terminal and the Akodi railway station. So other than this, in the entire area, as a potential, what we found is, of course, the presence of the parks, but the entire neighborhood is also very porous in nature. That the grain size, if you see, that it has a residential block of almost 50 by 100-meter side, which makes it very porous in nature. And because of it, because of this good connectivity, good street connectivity and the block size, it becomes very easy for the pedestrians to use this entire street, because once you step out, you are on the road, and connectivity is also very good in this entire area. And CMP has suggested that 250 people per hectare was the density as per CMP in 2008. So we, by 2021, we have assumed that this area will have 550 people per hectare as a density, which an excellent density and a very good density if you want to have a pedestrian friendly neighborhood. So understanding the further potential, we of course every time we first start with the issues, but this time we thought that let's first understand the entire potentials of the site. So both the street, that is Savarkar Street, and the Lokmanya Tilak Street, has a very interesting greenery on the side. So all the area is always shaded, so people do walk on the road in the morning and the evening time. And you also see there is a presence of hawkers, especially at the junctions and wherever there is a commercial zone. There is a presence of hawker that keeps the street very active. The third thing is the presence of buildings, as I public buildings, as I said, that those are located at the critical junctions, like at the junctions. Nigdi Pradhikaran buildings have been proposed, so it also gives us opportunity to create a public space. And the fourth and the extremely important condition, for the pedestrianization that we see on along this Lokmanya Tilak Street is, having eyes on the street. And all these small building you see have their terraces opening towards the building, so you always have the eyes on the street. So it's a kind of the kind of a factor which we always see as a safe street. It is already present on the site. uh, Considering the issues that when you walk try to walk along the Lokmanya Tilak Road and also along the Savarkar Road, there have been trees have been planted along the footpath, so that makes it little difficult to walk along the street. The second thing is the presence of feeder pillars, and there are hawkers that also, those also occupy the walkway, so one has to walk along the street. The third thing is that in most of the area, the footpaths have been damaged and those are not continuous, that whenever there is a road, it discontinues, and footpaths have also been damaged. The fourth is the encroachment by the private property owners, that they have extended the greenery beyond the compound wall into the public domain. There is another issue, is that the pedestrian safety we found has been compromised, because people, because of the parking which is alongside the footpath, people have to walk along the road, and that makes it very difficult to access the footpath because of the parking. The second is the junctions are very wide, and those are non-compact junctions. That makes the travelers and the two-wheelers to go at a higher speed. There are midway crossings, but those are very illy planned, because it from the footpath it directly gets on the central median. And the fourth is at the major junction there is lack of traffic calming measures. There are absolutely no measures have been taken to calm the traffic. So these are the basic issues. So after understanding these potentials and issues of the site, we had come to this vision statement. And I really, I'm very fascinated by this idea of Carlos Moreno. He not only talks about a 15-minute city, but he also talks about how to make it, ecologically friendly, and how to make all these corridors as green corridors. So what we came up with the concept as enhancing the concept of 15-minute city. The vision takes a green approach to create a neighborhood of proximity in which daily urban necessities such as work, home, education, healthcare, shops, recreation, and entertainment are within a 15-minute reach by walk, bus, or cycle. What we call as this as WBC. WBC is, for the human body, we also refer to WBC as white blood cells. So I feel that this walk, bus, and cycle are the kind of white blood cells of a city, which will keep it healthy. So the design methodology is, of course, one of the very important aspect of the design brief was to have it, to implement it through the tactical intervention approach. So the real challenge was to less design the space and give it, keep it more flexible through the tactical intervention approach. And so public participation is important. So how to do it, that I'll explain later. But through public participation and tactical intervention approach, the plan adopts a site specific design that allows flexibility and evolves with time, adapting an approach that involves people and everyday objects to create pop-up parks, pop-up play areas, pop-up markets and hawker zones, pop-up gym and recreational areas, pedestrian links, and walkways. So one of the site, that is a Savarkar street, which is a neighborhood street, that gives us a very excellent opportunity to involve people into this challenge of placemaking, and that will also keep the space flexible. So the design strategy that were adopted was connecting the, like we said, showed the entire map, connecting the parks, education institutes, markets to network of walkways, cycle, and public transportation routes, achieving ease of movement for pedestrians and cyclists by creating obstruction free walkways and cycle tracks, turning neighborhood roads into linear public parks. And the fourth is creating placemaking sites by connecting setback spaces of public buildings with the footpath. So this was the plan which we had of the neighborhood. Like I previously mentioned, this is the railway line. Over here, there is along the Lokmanya Tilak Road, there is CMP has proposed a BRT route, and these are the purple are the cycle routes proposed as per the CMP. And these spots you see are the schools, and the green you see as the parks. So the first thing what we did is to connect all this, the parks and the schools, with the network of cycles and pedestrians. So this purple is the network of footpath and bicycle network that connects the schools and the parks. And along this Savakar Road, over here, there is a Balaji Nagar Biodiversity Park. And along this railway line also, we thought of, because the railway line can be, taken up to create another linear park. So one we are proposing right now at Savarkar Road. This further can be extended and can get connected to the linear park, which in future we can propose along the railway track. And that will further give access to the Balaji Nagar Biodiversity Park over here. And the 45-meter wide road, which is in the center, Nigdi Chikli road, that also has a huge potential to convert that into bicycle and a linear park. So I'll explain the linear, what is exactly is the linear park concept, when we will explain the demonstration along the Savarkar street. And these are the placemaking sites, at possibly at the junctions, and wherever there are public building, we have proposed a placemaking sites on these junctions. So this way, all these connected routes also connected to the parks and to the nearby public transportation networks such as Bhakti Shakti terminal. They like the transport hubs, Bhakti Shakti hub and the intermodal transport hub of the Akurdi railway station. So this is the finally the inner one is the 5-minute walk circle and outer one is the 15-minute walk circle. So this is a conceptual level plan. This through this how we can create a neighborhood that is safe for pedestrians and in which all the urban necessities are also within a walk of 15-minute to and 5-minute and 15-minute walk. So going to the site specifics, this is the Lokmanya Tilak Road, and this is the Savarkar Road. So conceptually, what we have done along this is that obviously that along the Savarkar along the Lokmanya Tilak Road, there is a public transportation network, there is a footpath, and there is a bicycle track that we have proposed. Over here, which is the Savarkar Road, which is also a 24-meter wide road. On one side of which we have proposed a one-way. It also can be proposed into a two-way traffic movement. And on one side, we have completely taken out the vehicles and continued a kind of a linear path. So on this side, why this side is because mostly this is a residential part, and on the other side there are mostly the commercial set is over here. So these are row houses and bungalow type of kind of a typology. And on the other side also there are row houses and bungalow typology, but it is mostly commercial on this side. So on this side it will be a one way, and on the other side that will be completely converted into kind of a linear park. And we can do this for the demonstration purpose probably for a 1 month. And on the Lokmanya Tilak Road, other than having a public transportation network, cycle track, and bus system, these are the placemaking sites. Obviously, that at the PCMC public building over here, there could be some hawker zone can be created. Over here, there is a park. Over here also, we have created a hawker zone. There is a PCMC E block. Over here, there is a hawker zone created. And there is a Pradhikaran Road junction. Over here also, there is a space where placemaking site 4 can be created. So talking about the section of the street, the major street is a Tilak Road. So what we have done over here to create a pedestrian and cycle track facility was really challenging on this particular side, because the total road width is 24-meter, and the existing median, the central median, is almost 1.5 to 1.8 meter wide, and it has a large streets and large so that is why we cannot really reduce the median. It has to be between 1.5 to 1.8 because of the large trees which have been planted on the median. So on the one side, what we did is we kept a 5.5-meter carriageway, out of which the left side is given for the bus bay, and later on 2 meter for the parking, 1.4-meter clear cycle track, and 1.8-meter walkway. So now these three, as per the site conditions, these keep on changing. For example, if this is a 1.8-meter pedestrian way, the 1.4 clear cycle track parking. On the other side, the parking becomes turns into a multi-utility zone wherever parking is not required, and the bus stop can be accommodated. Wherever there is, we have to place hawker zones. Then what we have done is to turn the cycle track along the carriageway and take the multi-utility zone in between, so that there is a greater connectivity between the pedestrians and the hawkers. So and the cycle tracks also remains unobstructed. This is an add grade cycle track that we have proposed. And over here, wherever there are trees, the pedestrian walkway comes on the side, and it gets this is how it becomes an obstruction free, both the cycle tracks and the pedestrian and the MUZ. This is the visualization of the Tilak Road. You can see that this is the way for the bus. We cannot make it dedicated for the bus, but still we can paint it so that the priority for the buses. Alongside, you can see the cycle track which is going wherever there are bus stop. You can see that it is going behind the cycle track, and wherever there is we want to place hawker zone, over here you can see that the cycle is along the carriageway. The multi-utility zone is in between, and the pedestrian walkway is kept as it is. So this is how private vehicles are on the center, and we are keeping them as much away as possible from the building, so that people use more and more the public transport and cycle routes and walkways. This is the junction where the site B meets site A, and we wish to paint it in a kind of a manner so that it becomes also a little attractive. This is another view of the same site, of the Tilak Road site. This is near this is a proposed hawker zone near a Nigdi rope vatika. Over here actually these hawkers are along the footpath, they are occupying the footpath, but because there is a Nigdi vatika behind, this is a site owned by PCMC only, so we can carve out a little space and give it for the hawkers, and we can create over here a nice garden also can be proposed, so that if the hawkers are placed at the entrance of the gardens, the business will also increase, and this will also become a dedicated walkway, keeping the pedestrian walkway free, completely free. This is another view of the Tilak Road site. So here you can see that these are the sites which have been kept for the hawkers to occupy in between, or maybe sit outs or furniture can be made over here. This is the existing footpath. Actually, this we have thought of just repairing, because it's a tactical intervention approach. We have not given any permanent solution, but something that can be done easily with the paints or using the waste material. So the kind of ramps also we have created can be done by using either ply or using fabrication techniques, something like that. And these areas also will be painted, the MUZ areas, and we have put flexible bollards, so that even if for the demonstration purpose, so even if later if anyone wants to remove, we can easily remove it. So this is the site B, which for which I think the survey was not given, but we ourselves did the entire survey of the site. And what we found, this is of course the intuition-based approach, and we have not there was no exact calculation of how much traffic is generated along this Savarkar Road, as CMP also does not give any estimate. But when we had a talk with the residents over there, and when we also observed on the site, they were of the opinion that the residents were of the opinion they don't see much of the traffic on this road, and it is mostly vacant, and in the morning most of the people use the entire road for the jogging activity, for the yogasana and such kind of things. So, and even in the evenings also. So what we thought is to turn the one side of the, it also has a median 1.2 and 1.5. It varies between 1.2 to 1.5 meter wide. So we thought of converting one side completely into traffic, and the another side giving it completely for the placemaking and a kind of a linear park. So this is the existing walkway. This is the 5 to 6 meter wide what we get for the linear park, and a 3 meter wide cycle track. Then there is median. Then there is a multi-utility zone for the bus stops or for the cycle parking that we can have into this zone, or the car parking. And there is a public transport bus corridor, and then there is a public vehicle. We are thinking of this, making it as a one way, but I think we had a small meeting with the PCMC official. They said we can do it also this into a two-way facility. So this is in discussion right now, what exactly do. So in this particular 5 to 6 meter, what all we can accommodate is pop-up resting zones, smaller nurseries. There could be art galleries. We can put up also, if some markets, if you want to put vegetable markets, some public toilets also we can put in. Parks can come up, play areas can come up into this area, gym can come up. So this zone actually has a lot of flexibility, and involvement of people is extremely critical for doing this entire for the planning of this linear park. So this is how it will look. On one side it will have a complete traffic, on one side it will have a kind of a linear belt, which will is a kind of a public park. So this 3 meter track will also be used for the ambulance if there is anything. So this can be used for the ambulance to access to those. These are the ways to go to the property, these crossings you see. So each one gets a kind of a dedicated small kind of a park in front of the house. And in kind of a extreme necessity, you can take your car inside, but we have suggested that for a time being, at least for the demonstration purpose, we will keep on seeing how exactly this works out. Until that time, we can keep the parking along the multi-utility zone over into this particular zone. So this is how it will look. And these are the kind of private bungalows and properties, and in front of each you will, they'll easily get smaller parks, like an extended park of the to the house. I also forgot to mention that the Savarkar Road, let me just, Savarkar Road also connects to a major school over here at the end. So and a lot of people from this entire vicinity go to the to school. The lot of children. So it was also kept in mind that children get safe access via bicycle to connect to their school. So this is how finally a gist of both the roads. This is site A in detail and site B into the detail. This is the survey, I think, which we will get in some days. We have asked for the survey of this particular site to do the detail of the site B, because what you see right now has been mapped by us, and this is site A. So what we have is continuous obstruction free footpath, a space for hawkers, a public transportation network, and an interesting linear park into the neighborhood. And at certain points, if there is an issue of the parking, what we have suggested is that the public buildings of PCMC Pradhikaran has a lot of space, and their parking is almost vacant. Like we have gone and observed it. It has the 4 number you see, it has a parking, but it is almost vacant. So people can park over there. So these sites can be utilized for the parking if there is a crunch of the parking. And this is the estimate. It is for the site A. Of course it is, this is not there are no service lines considered. There is no permanent demonstration considered. This is based on the tactical intervention approach. For the site A, it is coming around 2.5 crore rupees, and site B, it is coming around 1.8 crore rupees, using the paints. The material which we have used is paints, pots, or something which we can easily do with the use of fabrication. So finally, to conclude, I really like urban designer John Gill. So what he says, that we are realizing that if you have people walk and bicycle more, you have a more lively, more livable, more attractive, more safe, more sustainable, and more healthy city. And what are you waiting for? I mean, he really inspires the young generation to start looking at the cities in a completely different way, and making them creating more and more pedestrian friendly neighborhoods. Yeah, thank you. So Suraj and Harshavardhan, if you want to add anything, if I have missed out.
Yeah, thank you, Abhijit. Suraj, Harshavardhan, anything to add?
Not really, everything got
Okay.
in that presentation.
Yeah, so we'll just quickly take any questions if there is anything. If anyone wants to ask anything or discuss, most welcome, since we have quite a bit of time.
So we have not yet detailed out the proposal. It was because there are certain things which yet have to come from PCMC. Like I said, mentioned about the detail of the site B.
Right.
So once that comes, we will start preparing the details of the proposal also.
So I just wanted to know how, as in, what do you see as the next step? Like, how do you think it's going to go ahead or get executed, or what do you think is the next step, or what is the next step that you are taking?
Uh, I've been, we have not yet, I mean, they have certainly asked us, PCMC, that and the ITDP, that how to go ahead right now. What they have in mind is to demonstrate a smaller stretch of 500 meters. But I am of the opinion that, it won't suffice, because if we have to demonstrate, we have to look at the whole idea of the
Right.
1.44 kilometer Tilak Road, and the site B, which is Savarkar Road, because
Right.
just doing a 5 meter won't do anything. we have to plan for the whole stretch, site B and site A together.
Right.
And they're saying that probably we will do right now. I think they're not in any way they're thinking, not thinking about implementing it right now. Probably it will happen sometime near Diwali or after Diwali. And I also prefer that time, because people will be on street that time, and public engagement would be
Right.
possible.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you're completely dealing with the local body. So now ITDP or Ministry of Housing and Urbanism is not involved in any way. Is that right? Because that's
ITDP
what.
is involved
Okay.
in the coordination thing, but
Right.
not in no one from the ministry.
Okay. Anyone else? If anything more needs
Yeah,
to be asked.
I have a question.
Yeah,
I just
sure.
want to clarify for how long will this intervention last? Like, what is the time period that this is planned for?
Generally, from my experience, what I've seen is that to understand what exactly is happening on the site, you at least need a minimum of 1 month to keep that intervention on site. If you really want to plan it, 1 month to 3 months to exactly understand, because we are talking about tactical intervention. So to see the results, and if you really want to do any changes, then 1 to 3 months I think are important. That is the time frame that it has to be there on site.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Abhijit. This is
Yeah.
Manali.
Yeah.
I had a question. First of all, congratulations to architect Abhijit and Studio Shunya Studio team for this winning this entry. I had one question. Is that we are nowadays street design is something that we are really catering to, and people are putting in a lot of funds for it also. But in this whole process of designing it with more of a European identity, can it not be included on activities which are cultural, which is an identity to a place, especially like for this particular situation where I see the Nigri road, that is the main Bombay Pune old road, right? So on those streets and these connecting streets, there are a lot of cultural activities that happen in Pimpri Chinchwad. And do we not think of the sort of people that are residing in that area? What are the activities that they do have? Or do you think only including bicycles or including walkability for livability and things are what should be included in a city pedestrian walk?
Yeah, of course, cultural, cultural context is extremely critical, while doing a placemaking thing. And it has to be incorporated. That is very, and considering the usage, then how people are using that particular, place, if you want to intervene in any way. And yes, you're right that Pimpri Chinchwad has a lot of interesting cultural landmarks, and that can be get incorporated into doing the placemaking. But I feel the input or the integration of the cultural context is limited to placemaking sites, because walkways and bicycle, I think we are right now at a kind of a situation where there is no other option left but to use bicycle, public transportation, and walkways. What As far as the Indian context is concerned, what mostly I feel is that maybe dedicated cycle tracks may not work. What we are mostly used to is a kind of a shared idea of a space where you everything goes on the same street. So I also really prefer the idea of sharing the main carriageway along with a bicycle track. But in that case, we need to implement a lot of traffic calming measures along the whole street. And we also need to see how do more and more people come and start cycling on the streets. So yes, you are right that is dedicated cycle track is a European idea, but I think using a cycle track is not new to Pune or Pimpri-Chinchwad. We have been doing that earlier, just that in this past 40 or 50 years we have lost the connect with the cycles. Pune, as you know, that is been known as the city of cycles. So how to again make it cycle friendly, that is a real challenge. And as a designer, I feel we are still at a very nascent stage, or a pre-mature stage of designing, because Europe has seen these ideas from last 2 decades, and we are seeing these ideas getting implemented. We are just talking it right now in like last 10 years or 5 years or so, but Europe has been knowing about these previously. So maybe to come to the exact Indian situation, how to accommodate a bicycle track or footpath will come. I think it will still take some time. Till now, I think we need to follow the dedicated routes for the same.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Abhijit sir. But I actually feel that street design is an opportunity to, keep to the culture and identity of a city.
Yeah.
And if while designing it, we do have this identity with what sort of activities happens in our city, that could be also incorporated, is what I feel. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Just, I'd like to know, Arijit, what kind of user research or stakeholder research you had done, in making these proposals.
Yeah, the time frame actually was little limited. So as far as user research is concerned, we have talked with the residents, especially for the side B, which is a Savarkar road, especially on understanding how do people use and perceive that particular street, the Savarkar street, because site A, which is a Tilak road, that is a busy street, so there is not much of a flexibility to do anything on that particular side. There has to be there are certain guidelines that has to be followed for the site A, which is Tilak road. But site B gave us a lot of opportunity to do something. So that approximately we had a conversation with around 20-25 people about how do they use that particular space. There is also a small temple, and there are also hawkers on the street. So they use mostly the activity for cycling in the morning, and in the evening also they use for the jogging, for doing exercises. And for the evening there are small benches also over there, so people use those benches for the small talk. And especially at the evening time, there are a lot of hawkers on the street, because people come out to buy vegetables or to buy fruit. So that was the kind of engagement what we had for the
There is a
site B.
temple also on site B1.
Yeah, there is a temple also. So in front of that temple, a lot of hawkers also come in. So I think in the details that will come, that in front of the temple we have proposed a small vegetable market that will be in the evening, but in the morning that space will be completely for the sit out purpose. Yeah.
So when Priyal, go ahead.
So I have another question. You specified that on the main crossings, like because it was a really wide junction, you said that there would be paintings and everything done on the road. So I wanted to ask, did you plan or think about optimizing mobility and seeing how the vehicular flow can be improved, or was that planned only for like the the connecting aesthetic value of the entire intervention by itself?
No, that was not merely improvising the aesthetic value, but in order to also keep the pedestrian safety in mind. And when we have the junctions colored, it also obviously what happens is that people tend to stop at such junctions, and it reduces the speed also. I mean, there are many other ways to calm the traffic. But as far as pedestrian safety is concerned, I think from the tactical intervention point of view at the junction, I think this was the approach that we found is interesting, that if we color it, I think and if we write it down, and then that where the vehicles has to stop, then that will create a better pedestrian safety. And as far as connectivity of the vehicles is concerned, private vehicles is concerned, of course there is if you see at the Tilak Road, there is one dedicated way, one way only for the private vehicles we have kept. The another way is of course there, which is BRT, which is there, but it is not a dedicated route. But still, we want to create more and more hurdles for the private vehicles and reduce down the compact the junction more and more. So connecting them to from one side to another side would not that be easy for the private vehicles. But for the bus
Thank you.
routes, it would be an easy access, or the cycles.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so when you were talking about the stakeholders, when you in general, like not particularly for this, but when you take an idea to a stakeholder, especially something where it's like a public space, like a street. So what kind of a reaction did you get in this case? Like, was there acceptance, or was there, people were open to the idea of changes in the street, or, having these interventions? Because a lot of people have a routine fixed around these spaces, and, that intervention is not usually very, not taken very easily. So was there any kind of a hurdle or anything that you faced in that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, initially, before giving the proposal, I think there is not a lot of public engagement. What
Right.
I believe is that the public engagement after the proposal is extremely important. Right now, this is the first stage, what I believe, and the second stage will only allow after the public consultation. And as you said, yes, there are going to be a lot of noise about if we are blocking the private vehicles.
Right.
And for us to create such kind of a public engagement, I think we need to go to residential. We have not done that yet, frankly, that but we are planning to have a dialogue. There are I think few residential welfare associations over there.
Right.
So and Nigli Pradhikaran building is also there. So if we have a dialogue with the people about what exactly is the proposal and how long we are going to cater to it. If it is for a smaller time, let's for say for example 1 month to 3 months
Yeah,
on a
I think
trial
that
basis,
the
some people
trial
do
is
actually
yeah.
they,
The
they
long
they
term one
do agree.
is, the long term or the
Yeah.
permanent ones are which usually are faced with problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything
So the I
else?
think
Yeah.
in any public engagement, the first question, like what BBLF is doing a lot of work for the child friendly
Right.
cities, and there are and in one of the conference I was also engaged with BBLF from the BBLF side, and the first question what we ask generally for the public engagement, that do you want your children to play on the streets, or do you want your children to send to school on a bicycle? Are you ready for that? I think that is the first question, I think. And there are quite a few photographs which we have that shows that you absolutely do not see children on streets. There are 4 or 5 photographs I have of the main streets in Pune. And the same streets, if you look at 20 years down the line, you see children
Right.
playing on the streets.
Of
So do
course.
you
Yeah.
really want to change that scenario from traffic to coming back to the child friendly city? So I think if we start with that question first,
Yeah.
I think people do understand about what are we getting to.
Right. And again, obviously, like you mentioned in your presentation, eyes on the street is very important. Jane
Yes.
Jacobs was completely right about that.
And for a public engagement, we need to make a completely different presentation. This is not the
Right.
presentation that is going to go down the throat of people. If we have to change the approach, it has to have a lot of photographs, a different case studies, and learnings from the different case studies also.
Right.
So we are going to make a different presentation that time.
Right. Okay. Any more questions, or can we conclude? Vinita, would you like to add anything? Or
No, I just thought this was probably one of the most comprehensive
Right. Yes, I was thinking the same. Yes.
Yes, of the 3 sessions we've had, because the others sort of took one street, like a 450-meter stretch, but I think you had a more of a helicopter view, and you were looking at the the city as a whole, and how to make this a 5-minute 15-minute city. And so I really appreciated all the effort that's gone into that. And I hope that when we do the concluding session, which is a kind of a reality check, so we'll probably have people who have actually done street redesign, some of our mentors and founding members also there, so they could bring up some of the issues. And so I hope we can have you back at that time, all 3 of
Sure.
you.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Abhijit, Harshavardhan, and Suraj. It was great to have you here and present your work. Thank you again. And we hope to see you again in the next sessions and even more for the other events for Placemaking India.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.